reaching the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, rolling the shoulder blades down the back. Do that a couple more times. Inhale, shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, shoulder blades down the back. Inhale, reaching the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, reach the shoulder blades down the back. Stretch the fingertips to the floor. Feel the earth underneath your feet, taking a deep, cleansing, beautiful breath in. Exhale, release soft, supple knees. And beginning today with a few exercises to warm up the nerves that run along the shoulders and down through the arms. I learned these on a channel called Live in Leggings. So if you enjoy this practice, go check her out. She has lots of great little hacks of how to build flexibility through the shoulders. So turn the right palm out and flip the right palm up towards the ceiling. Make sure the right shoulder is down but not leaning over to the right. And from here, we're going to reach the right palm up and draw the left ear to the left shoulder. And then we're going to bring the wrist back to neutral, bring the head back to neutral. And do that a few times. Bending through the wrist, left ear, left shoulder, and straightening. And releasing the right hand down. And inhale, reach the shoulders to the ears. Exhale, release them down. Inhale, reach the shoulders to the ears. This time, hold them there. Take a sip of air in. Squeeze your fists, squeeze your face. Take another sip of air in. And exhale, relax everything down. Other side. Flip the left palm up towards the ceiling. And then reach the left hand up towards the side. It's okay if it doesn't reach to the shoulder. Just gaining some information here. And then drawing the right ear to the right shoulder. And then release the wrist, release the head. Palm comes in, right ear to right shoulder. And do this a few times. And release. And now grab a strap or grab your pole if you've grabbed a pole. I'm using a broomstick today because I'm feeling a little witchy and I think it just gave me a splinter. Reaching your hands wide enough so you can keep your arms straight, but not so narrow that you don't, not so wide that you don't feel anything. So you may need to adjust this as we move. Inhale, reaching hands to the ceiling and try to find a space where you can reach your hands to the ceiling if you're in an attic like me. And feel the shoulder blades lift up off the back. Feel the ears lengthen away from the shoulders. And I need to widen out my hands a little because I have pretty tight shoulders. I'm going to release the hand behind the back. And try to keep the elbows straight. Inhale, reaching the hands up. Exhale, coming forward. As you inhale, reaching the hands up, lift the shoulder blades with you, but not bringing them all the way to your ears. Just a gentle lift of scapula, and then release the hands forward. And now we're going to start to make figure eights with the pole, reaching the arms all the way around and coming forward. This should feel really good. And reversing the direction. You may feel some pops, some snaps. As long as there's no pain involved, that's totally fine and healthy. And then bringing the strap or the broomstick, which I have, behind your back. I'm just going to move these blocks out of the way. So depending on your flexibility, your hands might be close together. They might be a little bit farther apart, palms facing away from you. Come into a deep squat in your Utkatasana. Sitting the hips back, bending the knees. Exhale, hinge forward over the thighs, belly to thighs, head and neck are heavy, and maybe start, if you can keep the chest and torso connected to the legs, you can begin to straighten out the legs and maybe start to reach the arms back behind you. Head and neck are loose. And from here, you can start to bend through the left knee, straighten through the right. Lean the left shoulder to the left knee. Inhale back to center, bending through the right knee, right shoulder to right knee. Inhale back to center, left shoulder, left knee. And back to center, right shoulder, right knee. And then hold here in your forward fold. Release the hands back to the low back. Soft knees, inhale, rise up with a flat back, all the way back up to standing. So I don't think we'll be using this again. You can put that aside and find yourself a surface or a ledge. I'm going to be using this. Bringing your hands onto the table, palms facing down. Walk your feet back so you can sit your hips back into a 90-degree angle. Reaching forward with the crown of the head, back with the tailbone. Bend your knees as much as you need. From here, we're going to start to move into a few cat-cows. I like to come right up onto my finger pads for this and start to, if you're familiar with cat-cows, the belly drops, the tailbone lifts, the gaze lifts. So this might not be a big movement because we're standing in this cat-cow. It might just be very subtle. Exhale, belly button in, round through the spine. Inhale into your cow tilt. Exhale, Halloween cat. And a few more times. If your shoulders feel really tight, then widen out your hands for this. And then bringing the palms to the table, we're going to hold here in a neutral spine, so not letting the belly sink, drawing the rib cage in, and just allowing the heart to melt between the shoulder blades. So we feel this stretch right through the shoulders, through the upper back. And breathing here. And then coming to the edge of the hands, to the pinky finger side, coming right back through to that stretch. Stretching the shoulders just a little bit differently. And then release your hands, just bow forward here and forward fold. So your hamstrings probably loosened up a little bit during that too. Little added bonus. From here, coming right to tabletop position. So for our shoulders, if you're someone with tighter shoulders, you may need to bring your hands wider than shoulder distance, but normally we want the hands right about shoulder distance. And for women, sometimes that can be a little bit wider than we think it is. And the first finger is forward, so the hands are slightly turned out. If you have more shoulder or wrist pain, you can turn your hands even farther out. Tuck your back toes under, lift your hips, send your hips back, downward facing dog. You may need to walk your hands forward or feet back. So down dog is either going to be a stretch for the shoulders for people with tighter shoulders, or it's going to be more of a stabilizer for the shoulders for people with more bendier shoulders. So draw the rib cage in. Lift up onto the balls of the feet, bend your knees, press your hips back, feel the scapula, the wings start to spread as you lift your arms overhead. And then release the heels down in line with the toes for your downward facing dog. The objective of down dog is not to get your heels to the floor, to have straight legs. It's to have a neutral spine. And we're also getting the benefits of the shoulders of the inversion. From here, inhale forward into a plank. Head and neck are last to arrive. Hands directly underneath the shoulders. Exhale, soft knees, waving back into down dog. Inhale forward into a plank, just like a wave. Exhale, soft knees, downward facing dog. Inhale forward into plank. And you might notice here you need to walk the feet back, heels directly over the toes. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward into plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. A few more of those. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, soft knees, press back, down dog. Inhale, coming forward, drop your knees down. Come to seated on your heels in Virabhadrasana. Hi, and welcome to Wisdom with Grace Yoga. My name is Sophie, and today on our channel we're going to focus on the shoulder, towards right on top of the heels in Virabhadrasana. If this is not accessible to you, you can sit up onto a block. We want to make sure we're not leaning too far forward. We can sit comfortably in a neutral spine. Bringing the palms together, elbows together. Reaching the elbows up towards the ceiling, keeping the rib cage in. And exhale, drawing the elbows down. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, release them down. You can stay right here or hook the right elbow into the left in Gomukhasana arms. Palms come together. And again, drawing the fingertips up, keeping a neutral spine. Exhale, elbows down. Inhale, reaching the elbows up. Exhale, elbows down. Inhale, reaching the elbows up. Exhale, squeezing the elbows down, release the hands. Inhale, circle the hands up. Exhale, back of the palms come together, release the hands down the back. Inhale, palms come forward, scooping the air up. Exhale, back of the palms together. A few more of these. And then reaching your hands forward, hooking now the right elbow in on top of the left, squeezing the elbows down, reaching fingertips up. Exhale, moving the elbows down. Inhale, fingertips to the ceiling a few more times. And release the hands. This time bring fingertips to the shoulders and just move your elbows in a few circles. Getting these shoulders nice and warmed before doing some deep stretches with them. And reversing the direction if you haven't already. And releasing the hands. Coming back to a tabletop position. Right up onto your elbows. Stepping your feet back into a forearm plank. I like to have my palms down. That's sort of the traditional yoga stance. You can also bring palms together if that feels better for you. Walking the feet back, coming into a forearm plank. And moving into dolphin, setting the hips back right into a dolphin pose. Walking the feet in. So dolphin is exactly the same as downward facing dog. We're just on our forearm, so there's more surface. Inhale, step the feet back, coming forward and dropping right onto your belly. Reaching your palms out to the side in a T. Bring the forehead to the mat. Right, take a peek at your right hand. Make sure it's right in line with the shoulder. We're going to walk that left hand right underneath the left shoulder. Peel the chest open, spin the left leg. Stack. You can start just by stacking the legs or having the left foot forward. Maybe you can reach the left foot behind you, but be mindful of your sacrum here. Only do what feels appropriate for your body. I'm going to move some props out of the way. Doesn't feel appropriate for my body right now to have props sticking into my arm. So from here, if you want to even further the stretch, if you can start to walk both feet down flat on the floor. And maybe you can reach the left hand behind you. Maybe you can find both palms together. Maybe you can come up to a bridge. That's more advanced. Find your bus stop, your place where you can stop here. And one more inhale, exhale, release back down to the belly. I'm just going right to the other side. Left hand extends, left hand right in line with the shoulder, right hand underneath the other shoulder. Feel the chest open. You can start just by stacking the legs, and I have a microphone on my hip. Or you can just bring the right foot in front of the leg. So finding your acceptable amount of sensation here through the shoulder joint. We don't ever want to overstretch. There's no real purpose to that. Finding a place where you can relax. And maybe bring the right foot behind you. Maybe you can reach this side. Doesn't do it. But maybe you can find the palms together. Maybe you can bring both feet down. Only lift your hips up into bridge if you really don't feel anything. But no numbness, no sharp tingling pains. And you should be able to find your other hand. I don't want your hand to just float out here like this. And then slowly release right back onto your tummy. Bringing your hands underneath you, coming right to Sphinx with the elbows underneath the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, tuck your back toes under. Feel the low belly lift, feel the thighs lift, feel the knees lift, coming right back up to forearm plank. Exhale, walk the feet in. And then drop the knees down. Grab your blocks. This is going to be more of an intense shoulder stretch, but I'll offer some modifications for it. So probably the medium setting or low setting will work for you. If you're on the higher setting, then you probably don't need this. And we want the knees right underneath the hips. And just like we did earlier, we want to find a 90-degree hinge from the hips. Bring the elbows right in. And the elbow creases are pointed up, so we're not here. Elbow creases pointed up. And bring your palms together, thumbs back behind your head. I need to walk my knees out a little bit further. But if this is too much, you could just bring your elbows to the floor. Another modification is to walk your knees in closer, doing this more in a bit of a child's pose stretch. But find your place where you can abide here in some stillness. Allowing the shoulders to gently open. Noticing if there's any places you're gripping onto that you don't need to be. And you may need to adjust as you begin to open more and more. You may need to adjust the blocks, adjust your arms. Otherwise, try to find some stillness here. And your breath will be very telling of how much effort you're exerting into this and how much you need to exert into this. Nice, easy, steady breathing. If you're coming into Ujjayi breath, if you're huffing and puffing through this, then you're probably just overexerting, and observe your practice more to modify. And one of the modifications I just showed. And one more breath. Slowly sitting your hips back to come out of this. And you're going to just let the blocks fall. Knees together, coming into an embryo pose. Bringing a block under your forehead if you need. Hands back behind you, palms facing up. So we did a lot today for the shoulders. This is not something you need to practice the whole thing every time. Maybe it's just one or two moves that you learned today that you want to incorporate in your own practice. But don't be surprised if you feel like a little bit of soreness after this. Should be feeling like a good soreness, not a bad soreness or pain. Because we did work the shoulders quite a bit. And thank you for joining me today. If you liked what I had to offer, hit the like, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you for watching. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. May you have peace in mind, peace in body, and peace in spirit. And of course, peace in your shoulders. Thank you. And namaste.